Hi, I am Nick, the product owner of Data Protection and Security Toolkit here at Actonic. I want to discuss the data cleaner for Jira Cloud. To configure the template in Data Cleaner, we can go in the home page of our application in the cloud and click on the Data Cleaner. While clicked, we can see the dashboard of the Data Cleaner where we can see all the enabled or disabled templates and the history of those executions. To create a new template, you can click on the Create Custom Template and start with the configuration. The configuration has two steps. The step number one is the general configuration and step number two is the fields processing. So in the general configuration, at first we are just naming our template. It is for only internal use. The next is also description, which is also for the internal use, and the next one is scope. In this scope, you can choose any scope there is with the JQL. For example, project is not empty. It means that it will scan the whole Jira instance. The next is we are choosing the owner of the template. And later we'll configure who will get notified with the owner attribute. Also, there is an actor field. Actor means that in case we are adding some comments or content to the items we found in the issues, the actor will be the user who will be performing those actions. The next is the manual trigger. In case of manual trigger, we can have the notification settings. So notify in case of error can be set as a template owner, and notify in case of successful execution can also set by the template owner. But if we change the trigger from manual to by content event, in that case we have trigger events and new functionality, which means that we can have this template running on issue created, on issue updated, on comment created, or on comment updated. So this template will be always running and it will scan all the newly updated or created issues there are. The next step is the fields processing. In the fields processing, at first we are just choosing which fields we want to look for in our instance. For example, we can look for summary, description, comment, history. We can look for the information everywhere. The next step is rules that will be applied to data. It means that we are defining right here what we are actually looking for. For example, we can create our own rule, or we can add a rule from the library. For example, if we want to add a rule from the library, we have a lot of rules which are created with regular expressions, and we can choose one or many to define our search. For example, it can be standard credit card numbers and we can add selected rules, or we can have also international bank account numbers and we can also select that rule. So we can have one or many rules at the same time working with our template. And we are also defining what to search, and this is the regular expression of the search part of it. In case of the standard credit card numbers, we also can edit the configuration of that rule from this button. For example, we can click on this gear icon and we can click on the edit, and we can see that, hey, this is rule named standard credit card numbers and the search type is regular expression, and this is the actual regular expression. The same goes for any template there is. So if we want to create a new rule, we can click on this button, we can name our rule. For example, it can be a test, and next we have to choose what kind of search we are running. It can be a plain text, which is case sensitive, and if you know the specific information we are looking for, it can be used for that, or we are looking for information with regular expression. And we can also look for the user information. For example, we can choose any user there is. In this case, there's only me because it's my test environment, and I can look for any information which is related to me in the instance. The next will be the actions that will be applied for rules. For example, we can add specific actions, additional actions to those rules. Let's add an action. Let's name the action, which can be test. The next, we are choosing for which rule this will be working. For example, it can be standard international bank account numbers or standard credit card numbers, or maybe use any rules. It means that any rule will be applied in this case. So action types, for example, we have add comments, which can add comments to the issues where the specific information was found, and we can also use variables right here like template name, rule name, issue summary, and etc. We can also send email notifications to anyone with the recipients, and we can also use variables right here. We can send notification email to the template owner, which was defined in the first step of the configuration. Next is to add label, or if the label doesn't exist, we can create a label for you. The next is webhook. we're also using webhooks with our application. The next is show warning on the page view. It will create a dialog notification that said, hey, you should not save this information in the issue, please remove it. The next is to set content property with the property key and property value, and we can replace with text. It means that we can replace any credit card number information, in this case for this rule, with any text there is, which is up to us. So this is how the template can be configured. Right now we can go back to the data cleaner and we can see the dashboard of the data cleaner. And to see the statistics of the data cleaner and of the running, we can click on any of the execution there is, and you can see what's going on. So for example, I was looking for the standard credit card numbers with the rules, and I found one in the history field of test user story in TP1, and I also found in the description field of the test user story in TP1. And I can also check case, and I can see that, hey, this was a credit card number, and I was looking for credit card numbers. And I can also take actions from here. For example, I can ignore certain content fields and rules, and I can also ignore specific text, which I can add right here, and it will be added to the ignore list of the template. This is how Data Cleaner works for the Jira Cloud. Thank you for your time.